We have been treated to an absolute ripper of a game here in Sharjah. It was my Emirates who won by 4 runs, but you did not know it was going to be them till the very, very end. Some really impressive individual performances throughout, but it was my Emirates who got the win, only just. 6 needed off the last ball. Romario Shepherd held his nerve. What a game he had, earning player of the match. He started the over with a wide. He pulled it back. Wickets were taken, and my Emirates get the points. Nicholas Pooran really enjoyed that. Did you not see DK? I hope he didn't hurt his back. But everyone very excited about that one because, as I say, came right down to the wire. Kieran Pollard held his nerve as captain, was very proactive within the field, and they did a great job. At one point, the Sharjah Warriors really were coasting, and you thought for all money the game was theirs. So they're off the bottom of the table. The Sharjah Warriors are right down there on it. They don't get the points. It's their second loss in a row. My Emirates needed that win. They got it. Things are looking good, and they're sitting in 4th. Thanks so much for joining us, Andy Flower, Simon Dool alongside me here. And it was a little tense in the commentary box there at points because there was a couple of people going for Sharjah. Actually, I don't think anyone was going for the Sharjah Warriors. Now I've said that out loud. My Emirates, you just didn't know who was going to win it, Andy.
Yeah, it was a ripper of a game, wasn't it? Brilliant game. It's nice seeing a finale like that. On a small ground, you would have expected Sharjah Warriors to come through. They'd set it up brilliantly. They didn't need much more than a run a ball for the last 3 or so overs. And they still came up short. I thought some of the tactical captaincy from Pollard was excellent. We might talk about that a little later. And he's a true winner. And my Emirates, or my franchises, they know how to win.
They certainly do know how to win. And when you interviewed Kieran Pollard at the end, he came up and said he shouldn't have been the winning captain. So they must have at some point thought that Sharjah Warriors had this.
Yeah, and at times in games, you feel like you're behind the 8 ball. You're well and truly gone out of the game. But Gazunfa's 2 wickets, and then obviously Dinesh Karthik just struggling a little bit with the bat. TKC getting out down the ground to Zahor late in the piece. There were just moments where you felt a wicket or 2, and my Emirates could come right back into it. And Andy makes a great point. You know, Kieran bringing himself in under the helmet and Gazunfa's over. Little things like that, having an extra man in the circle on the odd occasion in past tournaments. He just understands situations because of his vast experience, and he knows how to captain sides, and he knows the players he's got too. He talked about Romario Shepherd. I just left him alone. I left him alone. Didn't say a thing to him. He told me at the start of the over, you've got this, do what you do. And that's about understanding the human beings that you've got on your side and just letting them go about their business.
So if we talk a little more in depth about that captaincy and how it works, when you get to a point, I suppose coaching captain, because you've got your timeouts, you've got different strategies that you're employing throughout the game. What's the comms from coach to captain at a point or at different points in that second innings?
Look, I think if you see something worth intervening on, I think you should be sending a message out there. But in this instance, with Pollard as captain out there, a lot of coaches will just let him do his thing. Simon's just talked about Pollard allowing Romario Shepherd to make his own decisions as the bowler in that last over. It's very similar with such an experienced operator like Pollard in his relationship with the head coach. The head coach will know that this guy has seen pretty much everything in T20 cricket over a long career, and so will trust him to make really sensible decisions. And he didn't only do that. I thought he inspired as well. He inspires confidence because of the way he holds himself under pressure. His calmness is something that will be passed on to the bowlers in those crucial times. And you could see even that penultimate over bowled by Zahur Khan, who'd had a tough couple of overs. I think his first 2 overs went for 26. He came back brilliantly in that penultimate over, bowled a few great Yorkers, which gave Shepherd a little bit of wriggle room in that last over.
And as you mentioned, still there with like the field placements as well, Rohan Gavaskar made the point actually in commentary about Pollard's physical presence on the field and where he had him stand when it came to putting pressure on the batsman at different times. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, well, it's just understanding the situations of the game. Often we see him at long on or long off in big pressure situations when boundaries are required. When wickets are required, he just puts the helmet on, pops into silly point. It gets under the skin, and he's that sort of presence. You know, he's a huge human anyway, but he's that sort of presence that just understands at that time of the game, I need to be in under the new batter's face and maybe just having a little chirp. He's not shy of a chirp, Big Corin, and that's okay. Because I love that about the captaincy side of things. They needed desperately. Sharjah Warriorz were on top. They were winning that game 8, 9 times out of 10, but couldn't quite do it. So that is down to Corin's captaincy and Zahoor and Shepherd in the last over, Gazantfa's over, those little things in and around it, but he understands all of those permutations and just passes on the responsibility.
It might have a little something to do with the coaching as well. Robin Singh
Sorry,
joins
I
us
didn't mention
now. Congratulations on that
Hey, Rob.
victory. That was brilliant. How are you feeling after that one? Was your heart in your mouth a little bit there?
A little bit, yeah. I see a lot of these games, but you know, T20 is all about holding your nerve at the right time. And I just heard Dooley speaking about Polly's captaincy. So really and truly on this wicket, it's not that easy to start as when you come in. And the back end, when you have 3-4 overs to go, people start looking at the run rate. And I think the important thing is to make sure that you make them look at the run rate, to ensure that you bowl good balls more than anything else, and that naturally fetches you wickets. Obviously, I think I was having a chat with some of the bowlers, and then the ball started reversing a little bit. That helped.
Yeah.
Gets a bit softer, especially in Sharjah. So I think a new batter in is the key on these wickets.
You had a great start with the ball. With the bat, I should say. Romario Shepherd at the end of that innings really added a bit of impetus as you went into the changing rooms at the halfway point. What was the messaging to your troops after that?
Look, honestly, we were looking at around 190. That's the sort of target that we were looking at, especially since the wicket was doing a little bit at the start. It was a little slow, so we are not really sure. Maybe in the last 5 overs try and get about 10, 12 run over, because we have enough big hitters in the shed. Unfortunately, we lost Nicholas in the wrong time. We lost Wasim in the wrong time. Polly got out. So most of the big hitters got out, you know, back to back. So importantly, Sheppy is somebody who, I mean, of course, you guys have been working with him in Bangalore. I think last year when he worked with us, he picked up his game. What is good about Sheppy is he understands his game much better than what he did last year. So we had some long conversations about what is sort of role that we would like him to play. And you know, it's very simple. I told him, if you bat 10 balls, you need to hit me 3 sixes. Get more than that, it's fine. I'm okay with 200 strike rate, but if he can get us 400, it's a bonus. So I think he's a really good learner. It's good for the game. So I'm trying to groom him into a situation where probably he will take over from Polly in that sort of role. I think what we are trying to get is his bowling right. So maybe a little more bowling, understand situations better. So these are really good situations for him, right? Because once you go into other competitions, you have the confidence to actually execute in the debt.
Talk to Corin about the changes you made. It's not easy. One game into the tournament, you find 3 different players to bring in, but from a situational point of view, going from Sharjah to Abu Dhabi to Dubai, you've got to make those changes because the surfaces are completely different. So they worked tonight.
Yeah, certainly. I think, of course, you know, for an international player to leave out someone like Chris, it's not that easy. He bowled well in the last game, but we have to look at the conditions. Unfortunately, that's the nature of the game. And sometimes you take the decision too late, and it's an afterthought. It can't be an afterthought in this game. Either you take the decision or you don't take it, and you have to live with that.
Are you talking to those players?
Yeah, we spoke to them about it. So I think everybody understands that, and that's the nature of the team.
As long as there's clear communication, that's kind of what you want.
It's pretty much as simple as that. You know, Zahoor is a better bowler in these conditions for us. He may or may not play in the next game, but that's the nature of the game. Abu Dhabi is a totally different surface. The ball comes through. There's a lot of swing, seam. And it's a good batting wicket, so hopefully it's one of the venues that we have really done well.
And Robin, talking about decision making as a head coach, you had a tricky decision to make and made it during the batting innings when you retired Shakib Al Hassan, I think with either 4 or 5 overs to go. Talk us through that decision and some of your concerns when you make that type of decision on a player.
I think most of the players understand that. We need to understand in the last 5 overs who can maximize the score for us. And it's really Pollard, it's really Shepherd, right? I know it's a tough decision for a player, but I think we speak to the player after that and they sort of understand that. So at the same time, we give you a role that sometimes it's not your role actually. So we wanted to keep a left-right going, considering they had Adil. So that was one of the decisions we made. Sometimes it works, sometimes it does not work. But even Tejin is a very good player spin. He's
That was an
underrated.
interesting call as well, sending
Yes.
him out ahead of Big
He's a-
Shep. And we were sitting in the commentary box and you're like, really?
Yeah,
Good Shepherd.
I was having a full go at you, mate. Just saying, why aren't you sending Romario in? And
then
bang,
he-
bang, Taj went.
Then he goes.
Yeah,
It's great.
he's a
That's
very
what
good
he
player
said.
spin. He's highly underrated. And he hits both sides of the wicket. So that's something for you all to
Call,
remember.
coach. Good call.
It's worked wonderfully for you.
Yeah, well, the good thing is when we work with players, right, and I'm sure you guys know that, when we work with players, we see what they can do. And of course, most people who are sitting, I mean, you guys are doing commentary, so you really won't know what our game plan is to a large extent. It's what you see is what you comment on at the end of the day.
I was totally sure I knew your game plan, absolutely. Did not hear me on commentary today. Just joking. Anyway, let's talk about Naveen, though. He was one of the changes you made. He got 2 wickets. Tell us about him as a player and what you like about him and why you thought he'd be suitable out here today.
The good thing about him is he'll fight to the end. And that's what I like. That's what T20 is all about. You need to be able to go there and fight because you will get hit. You have to accept that. But I think important thing is to be able to execute your skills and trust your skills. So he's someone who is very confident. You talk to him, he's really confident over what he can do.
And Robin, he's come off a long-term injury, hasn't he?
That's right.
So, and I think I'm right in saying that you guys have helped rehabilitate him.
Yeah, certainly. And we really didn't want to play Voxie and him in the same game because both were coming off injuries. So that's one of the moves that we were actually trying to sort of manage those players. I think they're in pretty good shape now.
A strong Afghanistan presence.
Yeah.
And I think you talk about Naveen, but I think they all, you see them. You see Gulbuddin, you see, Naveen had some big battles over the last few years with some high-profile players, and he wants to be in that fight. He wants to be in the game. Gazantfa, Fazal Haq, we see them all throughout this tournament. Omarzai, there's something in them that wants to fight and win, isn't there?
Yeah, they're a dangerous side in
Yeah.
the World Cup. Trust me. Especially in India in T20 World Cup. They're quite a dangerous team.
When we look at where the game changed, nothing changed the game as quick as a double wicket maiden, Simon Doull. And you were in the commentary box, I think, around that time that was happening. And it really did just shift the whole momentum.
Yeah, and it's the Karen ball. It's just a beautiful delivery from Gazantfa. Floats out. I thought he could have given the LBW, the first one. I thought he could have given it because I felt it was going to hit leg stump. Obviously not given it. It just shows you what the umpires call and how different that makes. And the second one that he did give was only just clipping the top of middle as well. And that was reviewed. So I just thought it was a terrific little over. Great timing. And you see Pollard in here now, underneath there. Look how close he is. And it's 6'6" and 140 kilos bearing down on the batter, putting pressure on. And that's what we talked about earlier. He just assesses situations very, very well. And that was a moment in time in that game where he needed to put some pressure on, and he did it wonderfully.
And the other thing that you didn't see in that clip was the field placing.
Yeah.
What Pollard had done, he'd brought pretty much everyone in except for 2 sweepers, one on the leg side, one on the offside. The batsman would have felt that, even though he's a batsman of such experience, Dinesh Karthik, he would have been wondering, shall I bop this guy over the top or not? And one of your jobs as captain is to create doubt in those in the batsmen. And tactically, I thought he did that brilliantly.
Yeah, certainly.
He absolutely did. And you got the win, so congratulations. Thank you for coming over and talking to us. Really
Thank you.
appreciate your time. We'll let you go and celebrate with your troops there. You
Thank
don't
you
get
so
to
much.
go anywhere, though. You have to stay with us. We're going to take a short break here on Cricket Safari. When we come back,
Thanks.
there's more analysis
Nice to
of
see you.
tonight's game. Welcome back to Cricket Safari. Thank you so much for joining us here at Sharjah Cricket Stadium. We've been treated to quite a game here, and it was my Emirates who managed to get across the line, winning by 4 wickets, getting their first points in this DP World ILT20 Season 4. Well and truly underway. It's Super Sunday. This is the first of 2 games today, and the second one is starting very soon, but you need to stay with us first because we've got plenty to break down. And to help me do that, Dooley is still alongside me, and Rohan Gavaskar. Ro, how were your nerves after that? Who did you want to win? Who were you cheering for?
Well, I predicted my Emirates, so just to get a little further up the leaderboard in the prediction table,
nice.
my prayers were with my Emirates.
And they did pay off. It was an incredible game. But for all money, Sharjah Warriors had that. They have to know that they should have won. They should have those points that my now have. Simon Doull, where do you think it was obviously the double wicket maiden that really did it, but the main areas that meant they lost it, would you say?
Yeah, tough start for them. 2 games in, 2 losses, and one, they were just completely battered out of the park in their first game with Abu Dhabi Knight Riders scoring that massive 230 odd. Today, it was one they should have won. And when you lose those types of games, it dents your confidence. Where did they go wrong in particular? I mean, obviously that double wicket maiden, but you've got to have guys stay there. We've seen how tough it is to come out and start on this surface, so someone had to take the responsibility to finish that innings off from a batting point of view. And just maybe at the back end, I'm not saying that Romario Shepherd is easy to bowl to, because he's not. It's not an easy task, but they just missed their mark a little bit at the back end and could possibly have been chasing 175 and then game on.
Well, they were never really behind in run rate, though. It was wickets. No. 3 wickets in the power play, which was an issue for the Sharjah Warriors. Losing Tim David, I thought, oh no, she's all over here. But Sikandar Raza did a brilliant job, along with TKC, of just moving the game along at a pace that Sharjah Warriors, no one had to panic. No one had to do anything sort of erratic.
Yeah, that's the word that you use there, panic. And I think also game awareness, Laura. I think that double wicket maiden that we talk about, right? This was Sikandar Raza, and the way he batted, he was outstanding. 64 of 33 deliveries. He really, took the bull by its horns, played some outstanding shots. What he did really well in this innings was make sure that that required rate that you are asking was well in control. None of the batters that followed had to do anything special. And I think that's why I think game awareness, when I was talking about game awareness, I think Dwayne Pretorius, he's got to be sitting up there in that dressing room holding his hand up and said, listen lads, I've made a mistake there. I've made a big boo-boo, because all you had to do...
I hope that's how it is. I hope more than anything that is how
I made a big boo-boo.
Bit of a boo-boo here.
Yeah,
I'm just going to go...
Right. Yeah. Because at that point, Ghazanfar, what was he brought on for? Listen.
Boo-boo.
It's the second time today, Laura.
Oh, you've got me good. You've got me real good there. You keep going. No, it's good.
It's basically Ghazanfar. He was brought on to pick up wickets. You play his overs out, and then it's easy straight.
Yeah.
And you didn't have to play that shot first up. You've not given yourself any time. You've just come in. As you said, Dooley, hard to come in and play shots from word go. Yeah, it's for a player of his ability, and that's the problem. The player with so much ability and so much experience, you expect better.
Well, you take us back to last night, all right, James Vince.
Yeah.
Okay, it wasn't at his fluid best. These two, TKC and, I mean, he probably wasn't at his absolute best tonight, TKC, but that partnership had the run rate down to 7.5. 7.5 required with 6 wickets in hand, or 7 in hand at the time. You're chasing that down every time. You should not be losing that game, and no one had the ability to stay there and see it through. And that's what James Vince did last night when he wasn't at his best by any stretch, but he just saw the game through. I know it was a lower total, I get all that, but he actually fought through it and saw his team through. That's what didn't happen tonight.
Yeah, finding a way. If we just nip back quickly to TKC's innings, I felt it's like he didn't get hold of the strike often enough. He sort of lost his rhythm. I think you mentioned it when you were on comms, that he had just lost his way at a point that was actually quite crucial in the end for the Warriors.
Yeah, starved of the strike, and I'm not sure that a number of deliveries total in the end he faced, but at one stage he had faced sort of 34 of about 100. And it just wasn't enough for a guy who was opening the batting. He just hadn't seen enough of the strike. So that tells me also that the ones, the twos, maybe just weren't there enough, pushing for the odd 3. You don't get too many 3s here in Sharjah, but just rotating the strike at that time where you only need 7, 8 and over.
Warriors captain Tim Southee said post-match with Simon Dill that the bowling, although improved, they know there is room for improvement. Adil Rashid is not one that perhaps we need to see much improvement from. He took 3 wickets tonight, 2 the other night. What makes him so successful out here?
Again, just game awareness, when to flight the ball, when to get a little bit more loop, when to bowl flatter, when to think as a bowler, listen, this is not the time for me to pick up wickets, but this is the time for me to just keep it tight, build some pressure of dot balls, which batters he needs to attack, just experience, and above experience, just quality, skill set. Too often we talk about experience and the fact that, you can understand what you need to do in the game, but you also need to have the ability to execute what you've got going on in your head, which he did really well. He knew, he gives it a lot of rep, so the ball dips quite a bit. So, quite often, you go dancing down the track and the ball's not there and you've got to go to plan B as a batter. He's a quality cricketer. And we've seen that over the last 2 games. In the last game, again, he bowled really well. He batted really well, had a really good cameo where he hit a few boundaries. This time around, it was his bowling again. I think he's a real value add to this team.
If you ask most of us who work in cricket a lot around the world, who are the 3 most destructive batters in world T20 cricket. Nicholas Pooran's going to be at the top of that list, or number 2 or number 3, okay? Adil Rashid's record against Nicholas Pooran now, 5 times he's got him out, strike rate of 103.
Yeah, less than 100.
And an average of less than 20. And he's, it's just, and that's like 87 or 88, 90 deliveries he's bowled to him in T20 cricket. So he's got Nicholas Pooran's number. And that is phenomenal numbers for a guy whose career strike rate is 150 against a high quality, match-up batter versus bowler. Adil Rashid was brilliant tonight.
He really, really was. So my Emirates, they take the spoils, they get the points, they're on the board and things are looking up for them. Sharjah Warriors have got a bit to do, but this was just, of course, the first game here in Super Sunday of the DP World ILT20. There's another one coming up, and one of the stars on show had a crack at this or that.
Alex Hales, welcome to This or That. Weights or treadmill?
Well, look how skinny I am, probably neither. But if I had to choose, I'd go weights.
Instagram or Snapchat?
Instagram.
Calling or messaging?
Messaging.
Rice or pudding?
Pudding.
Wake up early or wake up late?
Wake up early.
Score a century or take a fifer?
Well, I've never taken a fifer, so I'll have to go fifer.
Tendulkar or Lara?
Oh, I can't annoy 1.4 billion people, so I'm going to have to go Sachin Tendulkar.
Spicy or mild?
Spicy.
Room service or going out?
Room service.
Dogs or cats?
Both. If I had to choose, dogs.
Tea or coffee?
Coffee.
Tidy or messy?
I want to be tidy, but I'm just not messy.
Cake or ice cream?
Ice cream.
Sing or dance?
Neither. Sing. If I had to pick, I'm such a bad dancer. Sing.
So are you going to sing for us then?
No. You really don't, honestly. Everyone will click off it straight away.
Money or love?
Can you have both? You pick love, don't you, all day?
And finally, win another trophy or go for a romantic holiday with your wife?
Oh, how can you do that to me? Well, I just pick love over money, so I'll take the trophy and then take my wife away with the prize money. Is that allowed?
That is the second this or that today that I have seen where some player has really had to pause between the love and money question. Boys, love and money?
Love.
Smart man.
Yeah, I know. I chase the money all over the world, man. Absolutely.
Love. It's all about the love. Who's got it tonight, just quickly? 80KR, or is it the Capitals can bounce back?
I'm going to go with 80KR.
Yeah, I'll be the same, I think. Winning the toss, bowling first.
Okay, Dubai International Stadium. Go there now. Watch it, the second of today's Super Sunday. Thank you so much for joining us here at Sharjah Cricket Stadium. We'll see you next time, but don't forget, go and watch in Dubai.